Hello boys and girls, we are going to be making an Easter bunny egg cup, and I'm going to take you through the project step by step by step. And if you're taking a little bit longer, you just pause the YouTube video and get it right, okay? And even if it's completely wrong, smash it up and do it again. You can do step 1, step 2. Oh goodness me, I got step 2 wrong. You can rewind and start again. You will have your clay. What I would like you to do is to break your clay in half. You can use your body as a scale and feel with your hands. Is this the same as this? It should be, more or less. If it's a bit heavier on the one side, take a bit across. So now you've got 2 lumps of clay. What I'd like you to do is put one down, and the other one we're going to make into a ball. And how we do that is we make our hands like little cups, like that. And we go from one side to the other side and just squeeze a little bit. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. 3, 4, knock on the door. 5, 6, pick up sticks. 7, 8, lay them straight. 9, 10, a big fat hen. So here we see something that's getting kind of roundish. Mine still looks a little bit like a potato. I'm going to roll it just to smooth a little bit on my board and get it nice and round. Once it's round, what I'd like you to do is to lift up your thumb, thumbs up, and put your thumb into the clay like this. Little Jack Horner sat in the corner eating his Christmas pie. He put in his thumb and pulled out a plum and said, "What a good boy am I." Okay, you've got your thumb in. Turn it over, balance it in your hand, and now you need to pinch the clay with these fingers. Pinch, and then you turn, and then you pinch again, and then you turn, and then you pinch again, and you turn. My hands out the way so you can see what I'm doing here. Slowly but surely you're making that little hole a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger by pinching and turning. I can see that this is going to have to be adjusted because I need you to be able to see what my hands are doing. Maybe if I put it in front of the apron. There we go. Pinch, turn, pinch, turn, pinch, turn, pinch, pinch, turn, pinch, turn, pinch, turn, pinch. And slowly but surely you're getting something that's called a pinch pot. Okay, now this little space over here is going to hold your egg. So if you've got an egg at home, just put it in to see how it fits. What it does need to do is it needs to be a little bit bigger, because what happens when the clay goes into the kiln is it shrinks a bit. So you'll, ooh, I just broke the egg. Sorry. My little elves in the background are helping me here. And then you pinch, 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 pinch. Make it a little bit bigger than an egg. See if you can get the tops nice and smooth. Okay. If you've got time, which I'm sure you have, because we're all stuck inside, avoiding the COVID-19. So let's see, we've got a bit of time. Let's try and smooth it and make it pretty and neat. Shall we do that? You just smooth, smooth, smooth. You can do this, pause the video and do this for as long as you like. Just get all the cracks away. Smooth it nicely. There we go. And smooth it nicely round like that. And get it as smooth as you can. I'd like to say that maybe get it as smooth as a mirror so that when you look at it you can see your face. You won't really be able to, but just that kind of smoothness you need to do. And I think probably the inside being smooth is also quite important, because what happens if you drip a little bit of your egg in there? You need to be able to clean it. Okay, so we're going to smooth, 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 smooth. I'm going to beat mine down a bit because he's looking a little bit too high. But get it nice and smooth. Also, one of the reasons that you need to smooth your clay is because when we fire it, it goes very hard, and then we're going to cover it in glass. So if there are any sharp little pieces sticking up, they will also be covered in glass, and it turns into a little bit of a knife. So you need to smooth it really beautifully. If you want to get a little, don't use a lot, just a little bit of water next to your working table. Dip your hand in a little bit. If you put too much, it's going to make a dreadful mess and you might have to start again. So just a tiny bit of water and it'll help you get it nice and smooth. Okay, that's step one. You've made your egg cup. And now we're going to change this into a bunny. And how are we going to do that? Is we're going to start, I think, with the head and the tail first. So off your leftover clay, which is sitting next to your table, break off a piece, make it round, probably about that big. I'll put it next to you so you can see the white against, maybe I'll put it next to the green, there we go. No, I'm going to go bigger, I'm going to make the bunny's head a bit bigger. There we go. So can you see how big that is? You don't need it too big, because if it's too big, it's going to pull the whole thing over. So let's make that the head. And then, of course, the bunny's tail is a lot smaller. So you take this one, and then you take a tiny piece off here and roll it. You've got two, the head and the tail. I actually need to wear something black, I think, so you can see what I'm doing here. The head and the tail. And then that little bit of water that you've got next to you is going to be used to join it on. So on this side, we've got the head. I'm going to put the head quite close to the top. Can you see that? And the tail, a little bit of water, quite close to the bottom. So it makes a line like that. The head at the top and the little tail at the bottom. Now you need to join it properly, because what can happen is that the head can fall off. So let's just go all the way around and join with your hand. Smooth it on, just so that the bunny's neck becomes part of the bowl. You mustn't be able to see where the bowl starts and the bunny's head begins. There mustn't be a line there. That little line over here, I'm taking it away. I'm taking it away. I'm smoothing it away. So it looks like it's just all one piece. Okay. There we go. The tail, I think, is less important. Just make sure it's joined on well. And then we are going to start with the feet. As you know, bunnies have got very big back feet because they hop. So pick up your leftover clay, break off next to that, maybe about that big, it doesn't really matter. And then what I would like you to do is to roll it into a sausage. And how you do that is you make your hand like this, you put it on the clay and you go backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. This is not as easy as it looks. I've just been doing it a million years, so I can do it quite easily. I have adults in my class that cannot roll a coil, and it ends up going bumpity, 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 bump. The idea is to get it nice and round and smooth, so it looks a little bit like a macaroni. Okay, this is the idea. If you find you are getting bumpity, bumpity, bump coils, the easy thing to do is to just push it away gently and put pressure on the way back. Push it away gently and put pressure on the way back. Okay, so now you've got a coil that's probably, I don't know, what's that? It's not as fat as a Vienna sausage, it's a bit fatter than a macaroni. Okay, so that's what we've got. This is going to be your forelegs. There are going to be 4 legs coming out of this. So you will get your toothpick, which you get in your package, and use your eye and find the exact middle. I don't know if you can see this actually. Whoopsie, off it goes. Okay, I'm just trying to lift it up so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. So you cut it exactly in the middle if you can with your magic sword. Zzz, in half it goes. So about now you've got two little, and I think we need to take a little piece off each, because the front feet of a bunny are little, like this. The back feet are big. So we're going to break a small one off this side and a small one off this side. I'm going to hold it up and try not let it fall off so you can see what I've got there. I'm not sure that you can, but there we go. So I'm going to start with the front feet. You take the little pieces that you've cut off, like that, roll them, and then a little bit of your magic water on the end. You notice I'm not using magic glue because of the COVID. And then you do this, and the little bunny's hands go next to his head. Can you see that? But you're going to have to join them on as well. So smooth them down, so that you can't see where the leg starts and the body ends. So now you've got these two little sort of things pointing up like this. What we're going to do to make it more bunny-like is just hold them like that and then pull them down a bit, so you've got that angle. Can you see that at all? All I've done is that and that. So almost he's going like this. Okay, you've gone up like that and he's just tilted them back a bit. And now these back legs are going to be fun. Okay, what I'd like you to do, move that out of the way. You have these two sausages. I just want you, with this part of your hand, to flatten it a little bit like a wedge. Can you see that? It's not really, it's round on one side and flat on the other. I'm not really good at this video stuff, but let's see if we can work it together. Make them both a little bit flat on the one side and round on the other. Now the fat sides, the ones that my fingers are tapping, we're going to put onto the bunny's body. Now we've got a problem here, is we can't put them right over the middle of the hole because that's where your egg is going. So if you can just put them a little bit to the side, like that. Can you see you're starting to get a little bunny lying on his back? What you must do is you must just join the fat side of the coil onto the bowl. The bunny's body is a bowl. So you join it on. I'm not terribly sure this camera angle is actually going to work, but let's have a look. You might have to get a little bit more professional than this, but let me see how that's going to go. Okay, so here you've got a little bunny lying on his back, his little feet in the air, and there he sits. But the thing about bunnies is, there are a few things actually we still got to do. Those little feet. If you had to lift a bunny's feet up and look underneath, there'd be little pads because they use them to push and to hop. So we're going to put little tiny pads on these feet. I need to wear something darker. You can't see the light on the light. Okay? On these feet we're going to do little pads. Okay. And what we're going to do, we're going to roll 1, 2, 3 little balls and one big one for there. So you pick up your leftover clay, and I would say tiny piece like that, tiny. And if you can do this, it's very good for your fine motor coordination, just to roll it into a ball like that, nice and round. If you can't, it's just as good to put it on the table, on your board, and roll it like that. Get it nice and round. So we're going to, what is 3 plus 3? 3 plus 3 is 6. So we need 6 of these tiny little balls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put water on them. Maybe up here just put a bit of joining juice. And then squash them a little bit, and you're going to go 1, pick it up, squash it, put it, pick it up, squash it, put it. Okay, there's 3 there. And 3 on the side. Pick it up. Put it. Squash it. Put it. Pick it up. Squash it. Put it. So now you've got 3 little toes, and then the heel, I suppose. Off your lump, take a little piece, break it in half. Now these balls have to be a little bit bigger than the toes, okay? Just a little bit bigger, not a huge amount, maybe like a pea. You know those green peas that you don't like to eat? And that you try and hide under your mashed potatoes? Those ones. Okay, we need slightly bigger ones, and then we're going to squash those. We're going to put a bit of water on them. We're going to put them where the heel of the bunny would be, just like that. So now you've got your little feet sticking way up in the air. It's like he's just fallen over on his back. But there's one thing that we have actually forgotten about. The most important part of a bunny, and that is the ears. Okay. If you want to, you can put little pads on his front feet as well. Okay, if you've got a little bit of clay left over, you can do that. And then you're going to do the ears. Off your piece of clay. Maybe something about that big. It's hard to see because it looks so big when it's the same size as the bunny. It's probably just smaller than the foot. Okay, we are going to roll that. Remember how we do a coil? Hand up, and you push it backwards and forwards. Backwards, putting a little bit of pressure on the clay, trying to get it nice and cylindrically round. If you're having a problem and it's going boing, 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 just push it and then pull. Push it and then pull it. Now mine quite naturally has gotten sort of 2 little pointy bits at the end. Can you see that? It's not, I can make them pointier just to show you a little bit. There we go. It's a little bit pointier. Now it's like a spear. It's pointy on this side and it's pointy on that side. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut this in half with our magic sword. Look where your eye, is that exactly in the middle? Yes, that's exactly in the middle. Let's cut it. So now you've got 2. You've got 2, 1 each of these. Okay. Now these aren't ears actually. These are just little ice cream cones really. We need to make them into ears. And how we're going to do that is we're going to take our pinky, okay, and we're going to move this little piece onto our pinky like that, and we can actually push it around the pinky. Push it on either side so it actually sticks to your pinky like that. Can you see? It's just stuck to my pinky. And when you pull it off the pinky, you will see that you've got a little bunny ear. Okay, it's hollow on the inside. You need 2 of those. So you do 1, you put it fat side to the bottom, across onto your pinky, and you push, 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 push. If you've done it properly, you should just be able to go la 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 without even holding it on with your other hand. So there you've got your 2 ears. Now, how are we going to do the ears? How are we going to stick them on? Is this bunny, this little Easter bunny, happy or sad? I don't know. What do you think? Do you think we should put the ears like that? Or do you think we should put them a little bit to the side? They look very different. You know, this one looks like he might be a bit confused because his ears are going sideways, if you can see. Let me think. How am I going to do mine? I think I might make mine a little happy bunny. I'm going to stick his ears on the back of his head. Okay, don't join your ears like that. Rather stick it onto the back of the head. It gives more strength. And then you smooth them down. I don't know if you can see this. This camera angle is going to be a problem and my hands are in the way. So let's just have a look here. We're going to smooth down this head. Smooth down the ears. Can you see? Smooth, smooth. They're stuck to the back of the head. Here you're starting to get your little bunny. And he's looking at you. There might not be enough room for an egg in there. You've got to keep making sure that an egg can fit in there. And there we go. We've got a little bunny lying on his back with his hands in the air. But there's something missing, isn't there? This little bunny hasn't got a face. How are we going to do that? Little bun bun. I think the most important thing, okay, I've got an idea. Pick up your leftover clay and I want you to break like a lentil size. I don't know if you know what a lentil is, but it's terribly small. Terribly small. We need a tiny little piece. Tiny little piece like that maybe. And we need 2 of those. 2 little, well, that's a bit bigger than a lentil. Let's break that one in half. So let's go small like this. Can you even see it? It's so small. There we go. And you squash them slightly, squish, and you stick them together. Oopsie. Okay. Oh, golly, can you see that? I don't know that you can. I'm not terribly sure. Anyway, those are your bunny's cheeks. They go on his face. Just join it well if you've got a bit of water near you. So there's his little nose. And now you need a tiny little lentil to make his chin. And you stick it underneath those. Have I done it right? Yeah, I have. Underneath your cheeks goes your little chin. Can you see that? I'm not terribly sure. We might have to redo this video. Anyway, and then a teeny little one for the nose, the little twitchy bunny nose. There we go. So now you've built the bits of your bunny. Now what's going to make it really beautiful is what you do with this thing. This is the magic sword, okay? And bunnies are fluffy, especially their tail. So you take the sharp end of the magic sword and you put a little bit of fluff onto the tail. A little bit of fluff. And now, you know, it's up to you. What do you want to do? How do you want to make your little bunny special? I might just draw in the feet again. I don't know. It's hard to do this and do this so that there's a little... what do you want to do to make your bunny special? Do you want to... Eyes! We forgot about eyes. Let's put eyes in. Just above the little cheeks. And what about little whiskers? Now this is where children really, really shine, is when they start with the magic sword. Can you see the little eyes, the little whiskers? You can do what you like. You know, you can draw a little line around here. You can decorate. This is like the fun bit. This magic sword is the fun bit. The sharp end makes beautiful patterns. If you want to play with the blunt end and do little dots, you can do that too. This will really make your bunny, because your ideas with this little magic sword are your ideas. And once you've done that, do you know what you need to do? We need to get your name on it, because I'm going to take it home and I'm going to fire it in my kiln and glaze it for you. And I need to know that it's yours. So let's think about this. Let's put your name underneath. Can you do that? I'm going to put my name. T-A-N-E-A. You can put your name. And you know what else? I think your mom's cell phone number. Because then I've got a number on your bunny, and when it's ready I can phone your mom to fetch it for you. So here we go, is a little Easter bunny egg cup in however many steps. You can also put the ears down. The most important thing is to keep this area here, this area open enough to keep an egg in it. Okay, that's beautiful. Well done. I'm sure you're doing beautiful things at home, and if you can please keep it a little bit damp, maybe put a pick and pay packet over it or something without ruining it. Of course, you've got to do it very gently, because these little marks that you make, we don't want to ruin your bunny. And then you drop it off with me and I'll fire it. Well done, guys.